Hey guys, what's up? This is Don. Thanks for coming to my channel. Happy New Year. Thanks to all those who subbed this past year. It's been kind of crazy. I started out with less than 100 subscribers and now I'm at 10,000. So thanks for hanging out with me and watching my videos. And I hope to make more this year. I hope to do more vlogs and kind of share what's been going on with my bands. This past year, I've been in 2 bands, which is really cool. I wasn't really expecting that coming into 2024, but here we are. So I just kind of want to start out with how my music journey just started. I got back into music around late 2023. It's something that I kind of held off from for a long time. I played a lot in high school, played a lot in college, and I actually really wanted to go to music school, but then I paused that because I wanted to focus on my career. So fast forward to 2023, I got into playing again. I was covering some Megadeth and some Metallica songs, stuff that I really enjoy and still love today. And I started out this small project just to stay creative. I called it the Riff Journal. And if you've seen those shorts, thanks for checking it out. And it kind of just started from there. I think the first episode of the Riff Journal was a Megadeth song, which was Holy Wars. And I posted that on my Instagram, and my friend and I actually reconnected because I posted that on Instagram, and I asked him, like, hey, are you still playing music? And he said, yeah, I am. And I asked him, hey, do you want to cover a song together? Because he plays drums, and I needed someone to actually be good at drums because I couldn't program drums. And I figured it might be easier if we just had someone just play drums. So then, after we reconnected, we're just like kind of talking about like how the music thing was going. And around that time, I saw this video from this hardcore band called Drain from Santa Cruz. And it was a Halloween show, and it was insane. It was the coolest thing I've seen on YouTube in a long time for like music stuff. And it was just like stage diving, moshing. The energy is super amazing. Everyone was all in it. And the performance was amazing. And I really wanted to like experience that and, at least try it once in 2024. So then I asked my friend, like, hey, if we wrote like 3 songs and we played a show, I think I would be happy to do that and just kind of like figure it out from there. So we started writing some stuff, and then, throughout some of our conversations, we would ask who would play the show with us. And then we reached out to our friend John, and he was like, yeah, I would like be happy to do it. I think he told me this recently. He had some reservations about it, but I'm glad he said yes. So thanks, John, for being down to play with us and jam with us. And then after that, we were kind of working on the songs a bit more. And we reached out to our friend PJ, who plays bass, and it kind of just turned into a band because one of our conversations with John was saying like, hey, can we just start a band? And I was like, all right, sure, why not? So then we kind of kept going with some writing of music. And then the funny thing about this all actually is like we don't live in the same area. So some live in different we all live in different parts of California, and we just had to find a way to listen to each other's music and parts. And because of like working from home, we had all these things I was used to at work. So then we would just do things that we would do if you were working at home. Like we would meet over Discord, and then we would also show the recordings and kind of talk about it, and then meet again on the next week and then talk about like the parts that we want to add, or even did demos in between. And from there, we actually ended up writing 6 songs. And then from there, we went through this kind of process of like someone writes a demo, and typically these demos were pretty much like fully composed songs. And then we would come together as a group and work on these things and refine things, shorten things, or like move things over. Maybe provide some feedback around like where there should be more delivery of energy or a different type of delivery form in those songs. And from there, we felt pretty good about the next step, and we wanted to record. So we started recording around June, and that was a cool experience, because I think the last time I actually had to record something was in college, and that was like a big thing for me because I wasn't sure how I would perform at that time. And quickly I found out that I was not ready to be someone that could record our music, because I had timing issues and all these things. And I had this retrospective outlook of, I don't want to do that for this band. And so I practiced a lot. I would listen to a metronome on my way to work. Insane. It's like super crazy. I don't think anyone would want to do that, but I did it because I wanted to. And I felt like I gained a lot of confidence from practicing, even just humming with the metronome. And then I also was practicing obviously with my guitar. So the entire band was like getting ready to record and kind of taking their process to like get ready mentally, and also kind of be in the right headspace to record, because I think there's a lot of pressure about like making sure you can perform the day of, and it's truly difficult if you're not used to that kind of thing. I sure wasn't, and I was happy that I spent a lot of time to get into the studio with the preparation done. So kind of fast forward, we went through drums, we went through bass, we went through guitar. We had our music's pretty guitar heavy. I think it's because we have like a lot of metal background in our music, even though we're aiming for something more hardcore. I think that for us, there's the spectrum of either like you're more on the punky side, or you're more on the kind of like metal side, or the heavier side of things. And I kind of like had this balance in my head. It's like, you know, there's like the turnstile stuff, and there's also the knock loose stuff, and then there's also us. Like, how do we kind of have this spectrum but also make it sound like us, which is part of the writing process too, in up front, before we even started recording. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but this was interesting. So after we recorded, we really wanted to start playing shows. During this time, we were waiting for our music to get mixed, so we'd do our best to rehearse together. And us being in different parts of California, we had a lot of logistical planning that we needed to take care of. Like, people have kids. Our friend PJ, who is a bassist, he just had a kid, so we kind of had to like also experience that, is like, how do we work together when, you know, being a new parent is like has its demands, and also just the experience of the other members having kids also was also cool, because we could figure out what we could do scheduling wise. I don't have kids, so I was pretty flexible about things, and we could pretty much do whatever we can. During rehearsal, we would try to work on things about like who would take on certain vocal parts. I think the one thing I didn't mention was that Kevin, our drummer, is also the vocalist, and it's kind of insane to do vocals and also drum. So I want to take off a little bit of that load off of him by doing it. During my this music journey, I also took I took vocal lessons, and I think that was probably like the most difficult thing for me, because I felt super humiliated the entire time, because I had no confidence in like hearing my own voice, or even understanding how to use my voice outside of just talking. And I think my teacher really helped me a ton through that. And I just think that was probably the biggest takeaway for me, was like gaining a lot of confidence, and then also like, you know, learning how to use my voice with the current tool set I have now. I think I need more work to improve my voice, because my main goal is like to be able to like keep performing without ruining my voice. It would be kind of a bummer if I couldn't perform with my voice and give that delivery in our music. I think for us, our delivery is very important to us because there's a lot of energy in our music. So around this time of rehearsal, our friend Andrew, he was the one that was recording us, and he was mentioned that he had a friend he was jamming with who played guitar, and because my hardcore band ESC was not able to get together that often, I wanted to continue exercising my timing and just being a musician and being able to play with other human beings. It's pretty difficult to practice things with just a metronome because you have like these time fluctuations, or sometimes like something can slow down suddenly and we have to adjust as a group, and you don't really get that if you're just playing with a click and then coming together only like a certain amount of times a year. Is difficult to keep exercising that. So I really wanted to do that, and also just it was just fun. So we started jamming together, and the joke kind of was like, hey, like if we play a show at the end of the year, that'd be awesome. And then during this time, ESC's record was getting mastered, and I really wanted to play a show. So I was reaching out to a bunch of people, and I was like, hey, let's like find a way for us to play a show. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. So then we ended up finding a show in San Jose, which is what you're gonna see right now in this montage. both bands were able to play. The sludge band I'm in that recently was just formed is called Wealthy Women. It's a sludge band, and that's the band with Andrew. And then my hardcore band ESC also played that night, and it was pretty cool that I got to play twice that night, because I just like really enjoy playing, and then performing again was really fun. I felt pretty comfortable. I was surprised that I wasn't like super nervous. I think I just had a lot of confidence in both bands that I'm in, and I think everyone took their roles very serious, so I never really had to feel like I was nervous about anything, because I just believed that our bands were super super tight, and we're just gonna do it. And at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter if we messed anything up, because it's like our first show, and also like, who knows, who cares, no one knows our music, so just play it, like, just have fun. Our goal for both bands was achieved, to play a show in 2024, and it was awesome. I was so happy. I think some of the things I learned from playing a show again was like trying to figure out like your like live mix. I think there's like things that people might take for granted, maybe not, or just don't think of. But I think particularly it's important to like make sure that your band sounds as good as they can in the room that you're going to be in, because you're never going to always play in a stadium or have a sound person. And if you do, that's awesome, because your band is super successful. But I think for us just starting out, we're going to be in those scenarios where we're not going to have that kind of support. So I think the one thing I wish we did as a band was like take a little bit more time to like hear ourselves in the audience position. And then I think the other thing I took away from our first show was just the sheer amount of gear that we have. I think I always am an over preparer, and I always want to just make sure that I have a backup. I think this is like from my past career of like always making sure you have like a backup, and making sure like you're never caught with like blaming your gear. And the amount of gear that we brought was just kind of insane, but I think it's okay too. So I think consolidating is an important thing that I learned. And I think another thing I learned was that your drummer needs to hear what's going on, because we didn't optimize. We kind of optimized for the audience more, and our drummer Kevin for the ESC side couldn't really hear what was going on. And I think we have a couple solutions moving forward. But yeah, I think those were like a couple of things, and I think for the grand scheme of things, it was pretty minimal. So 2025 is here now. I think some of my ambitions for both bands is to keep gigging. For ESC, we've got a pretty big show coming up. It's kind of insane, because like I imagined us to be more in like the DIY space, or like things are kind of just like normally produced, but this upcoming show has like a lighting person, and the venue's like got a stage, and it's like kind of big, and the expectation on turnout's like kind of large. So I think that's like something that I'm a little nervous about, because there's so many people. But I think for the most part, we're just gonna do our thing, and whoever vibes with us, they'll vibe with us, and whoever doesn't, it's all good. That's just like how music works. Like it's not always your vibe. And I think that's kind of the beauty of music, is like you discover things throughout like your life to figure out like, do I like this? And if you do, it sticks. If it doesn't, then I think you appreciate what you had at that time and kind of move on. For the other band, Wealthy Women, I think we're trying to write more stuff, and then eventually get into a recording scenario, and then also play more shows too. I think there's kind of a balance of like, do you write a lot of stuff and then play shows, or pause on both sides. I don't know. It's kind of like we take it as we need to. Yeah, I think my overall ambition is like to really perform this year and share the music and the work that we've all been a part of, because it's a huge payoff to essentially have had like the last almost year of work and then recording it, getting all that stuff mixed, mastered, and then distributed. It's like such a huge payoff. Like, this is kind of insane that I'm like thinking about this like in retrospect right now. So I'm really thankful for like both bands to like have been able to get to this place right now and today, and I'm hoping that we can move forward and play more shows and just keep having fun, experience some things. And if we end up playing outside of the Bay Area, then that's awesome. Like, that means I think we're doing some things in our hobby. But yeah, check us out on Instagram and also on Bandcamp. For Instagram, check out ESC. It's esc.hxc, and I'll leave some links down below, so check it out. And then my other band, Wealthy Women, also has an Instagram. Check us out there. I'll leave some links in the description also. You'll see a lot of stuff about like when our shows are coming up, and I think if you come to a show and you see this video, let me know, say what's up, and let's hang out for a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hope to see you at the next show. See ya.